Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Legend of Pickville Heavy Industries, a chronicle of how one ordinary Tempe kid stumbled into an extraordinary destiny. A story of desert submarines, time-bent encounters, improbable mentors, and the strange, stubborn belief that the universe sometimes taps you on the shoulder long before you know why. These are the memories, misfires, and miracles that built PHI, told one episode at a time, straight from the source. If you know, you know. And if you don't, well, you're about to. Previously on the Legend of Pickville Heavy Industries, fantasy football revealed itself as the unlikely blueprint for a propulsion system no one was supposed to build. The early 90s tested everything: resolve, skill, and the ability to rise again. By 1996, the work had expanded into bigger digs and a backyard unclear reactor disguised as a swimming pool. Fabrication skills followed, from Town Lake hot dog diplomacy to hands-on training with the Arizona Historical Society's exhibits crew. Even the mayor and his mother added unexpected insight. Through it all, the question lingered: was this massive secret endeavor finally ready to surface? Episode 3: From darkness, there is light at the end of the periscope. What surfaced next wasn't triumph. It was pain. The early 2000s brought multiple surgeries for my wife and for me, each one heavier than the last, and then her tragic loss in 2006. For a while, I lost my buoyancy completely. But I wasn't alone. Friends and family from across time and distance kept me treading water when I couldn't do it myself. And once again, the universe nudged my path. Tell me it's a coincidence that my best friend since first grade happened to be living near Portsmouth, New Hampshire during that stretch, the submarine capital of the Northeast, or that he shared a place on a river with fishing cabins. By then, even I had joined the computer age, and suddenly I had technology and proximity lining up at the same moment. It felt like the timeline was opening a door. I was able to glean as much submarine building knowledge as possible on that trip without being found out. It wasn't easy, to be honest, having to appear drunk while actually studying shipbuilding. But I did what needed to be done. A month in New Hampshire was exactly what a doctor would have ordered, if I'd had insurance or even enough cash to go see one. When I came back home, I was more focused than I'd been in a long time. I picked up new skills working for my friend Tom at TR Paint World, learning remodeling and painting from the ground up. I didn't know it then, but those skills would become essential years later, when it came time to build the Pickville Heavy Industries global headquarters with my own two hands. Back in 2008, my personal luck finally made a massive turnaround. I met my partner, the Vil to my Pick, the Yin to my Yang, well, you get the idea. But even with her, I couldn't divulge my secret. The time just wasn't right. Some would say that wasn't the only thing that wasn't right. But that's beside the point. As I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself, I couldn't reveal what I was up to yet. I needed more connections. The problem was we were in deep recession, and job listings were almost non-existent, especially in the critical government positions I needed. So I did what any determined, mildly unhinged future submarine builder would do. I started at the bottom in the parks department. At first, people were suspicious. They could tell something about me wasn't quite right, and they convinced themselves I was some kind of plant from city council. They were dead wrong, of course. Not that being wrong ever stopped anyone from thinking it. I briefly considered trying to transfer into the park's Rio Salado group, but I knew that was way too obvious. Someone would spot me, or worse, figure out I was using Town Lake to test submarines. So I stayed put in South Parks, where Kiwanis Lake would work almost as well and draw far less attention. Sometimes the smartest move is to stay exactly where no one expects you to be. My decision to stay at Kiwanis paid off, kind of. I had wide open, unencumbered access to the lake for testing, but I was still a temporary employee and nearly unpaid. Only sheer determination and a very strong desire to avoid having to go find another job kept me going. But with the support of my fantastic partner, who still had no idea what was coming, I pushed through the lack of funds and managed to scale up the unclear reactor tenfold. Sometimes progress doesn't come from resources. It comes from stubbornness, timing, and the right person standing quietly in your corner. Testing on the unclear reactor is going swimmingly. Not humming along, of course, because noise in a submarine is a bad thing. Around this time, I finally got hired by the city. Still didn't make much money, but it beat a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. And believe me, I know. Even so, everything seemed to be working exactly as it should, except for the blurry spots that sometimes appeared during testing. And my Snap-on Tools clock never kept proper time when we were in full load mode. I swear I was hearing music, too. Soft, distant, impossible. Things were starting to get weird. Aha! That was episode 3. And if you felt the ground shift under you, don't worry. That's normal. The desert's fully awake now. The machinery's running hot, and episode 4 is already flickering out there like a signal we're not supposed to see. Stick around. The legend of Pickville Heavy Industries is only getting stranger. Stay heavy, man.